movies, and it's very funny. So I have a niece and a nephew on their side of the family. So, and her kids are in their 20s. So I have this giant blonde hair, blue-eyed, like Norwegian, yes. And then my tiny little brown-haired grandmas. You know, all the pictures that we have with the kids together, so that the grandchildren are together. I mean, she just. Every time she's around, they pick her up all the time. They carry her.
And if she's okay with that, that's okay.
Well, she thinks it's pretty funny. They're being very affectionate about it.
You protect the flock.
The chosen chicken.
So if I sing really off key, good morning, sweetie. Give me my morning. Thank you. I needed that. Oh, sit here. Yeah. I can. I'll sit. I'll sit. I don't think there is. I'll sit down there. Yeah. I might do one.
All right. My name is Rebecca Kay, and I'm a member of this congregation. Colette Bowler will light our chalice this morning. Please join me in our chalice lighting words. They're found in your order of service. We light this chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, to remind us to connect in spirituality and service, to care for each other and the world, and to create loving community.
Today's story is called A Little Stream Called to the Sea. It's a Sufi tale. Once there was a little stream that dreamed of flowing to the sea. The stream started in an aquifer, a huge pool of water underground. But the call of the ocean was so strong that the stream pushed its way through nooks and cracks, up through the earth until it burst forth into the air and began its journey to the sea. As its waters bubbled to the surface, they ran down the hill, carving a stream bed into the earth. Sometimes the stream babbled as it traveled. Sometimes it gurgled. Sometimes it roared. At times, the stream traveled alone. Its waters were so clear you could see the pebbles that lined its bed. At other times, the stream ran through great lakes, or tumbled over a cliff, or joined other streams to form a river, and then split again to travel alone. But always, always, the little stream yearned to flow into the sea. Sometimes the stream would run fast and deep, eager to reach the sea. Fish swam in its waters as it carried them swiftly on its journey. Sometimes the stream would grow wide and slow, and it would carry boats on its back as it continued its journey. But always, always, the little stream yearned to flow into the sea. One day, just as the call of the ocean seemed to grow a bit stronger, the stream found itself growing sluggish. Its waters grew thick with mud until sadly it pooled into a brackish mud hole right on the edge of a desert. Woe is me, thought the little stream. Now I'll never get to the sea. It tried going around the desert, but the desert was too wide. It tried going under the desert, but the desert was too deep. Still, even with mud in its ears, the little stream heard the call of the ocean and yearned to flow to the sea. After what seemed like a long time, as the stream just pooled there in the sun, it began to hear a second voice, that of the whispering wind.
I can take you to the sea, little stream. Come with me. I'll carry you to the ocean shore.
How could you do that? You're only made of air.
I can carry you on a breeze, but you must be very brave, for you must let go of yourself and change.
I've changed many times.
Oh, but this will be different.
The little stream paused, but deep within, the stream still yearned for the sea. So the stream let go, and the wind picked it up particle by particle. At first, the stream was scared, for it felt lost. It was no longer a stream, but turned into something inside out. It had become moisture swirling in the sky. The view was like nothing the little stream had ever seen before. Not only was the whole world laid out below it, but it was surrounded by sparkling jewels. Then, what had been a stream realized that all those sparkling jewels were part of it. Molecules of water, droplets of moisture, sparkling in the light. What had been the stream realized that it was truly beautiful on the inside. Next, the stream turned moisture, saw that it was not alone, for the wind had whispered to the other streams and ponds, and even to the morning dew upon the oasis. All had turned to moisture, and all their parts were also sparkling in the sun. Together, they were even more beautiful, for the sunlight had changed them into the colors of the rainbow. Then the little stream turned rainbow, felt itself falling and falling and falling, and all the other droplets were falling too, until plop, 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 all the droplets ran together into a mighty river which rushed down the mountainside, across the coastal plain, and into the sea, where the waves pushed it back and pulled it forward, and the currents carried it far out into the pulsing depths. The little stream was content, but I understand every now and then the wind would breeze by, whispering to the currents in the sea,
Come with me, come with me.
and the moisture would rise up into the wind and be carried away to start all over again. Welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro, where we believe the spirit journey never ends. Unitarian Universalists believe that each person has a trustworthy relationship with the Spirit, with the Holy, with the source of all life, with what some call God, though we name it and know it differently from one another. And we believe that because we are interconnected, nobody is free until we all are free. So we strive to build loving community here on earth, in our fellowship with one another, and in our work for justice. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Please take this time to silence your cell phones. Our ministry team here at UUCG is the Reverend Sadie Lansdale, who is currently on vacation, Cindy Dillard, our Director of Children's and Youth Ministry, who is back from vacation, Julie Hamilton, our Congregational Administrator, Colin McCrae, our Music Director, and Larry Porter, who is joyfully on our piano today.
A covenant contains the promises we make to one another in response to the great gift of living, holding ourselves to these holy aspirations. Will you join me in our church covenant, which is printed in your order of service? We, the members of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Greensboro, do covenant to promote a search for personal meaning, respecting the individual truth in a community process of quest, speak and act with caring, courtesy, and love, thereby maintaining emotional, physical, and spiritual safety for all. Support UUCG and denominational efforts with our resources. Combat injustice while promoting equality. Nurture our children on their spiritual journey. Hold ourselves to this covenant, especially during times of conflict and disagreement. Please join in our opening hymn, which is in your gray hymnal, number 347, Gather the Spirit. Please rise in body or in spirit. If you're joining us in the sanctuary, won't you wave hello to everyone joining us online? Good morning, online friends. If you're online, go ahead and introduce yourselves in the chat. If you're in person, let's greet our neighbors.
wonderful it is to be together. We gather in gratitude this morning, turning our hearts to thanks and praise for the gift of living in the presence of the Spirit that animates all life, and in the knowledge that we are powerfully, profoundly connected to all that is, all that has been, and all that will be. During these few minutes of silence, you can focus on something you're grateful for, or someone you're remembering especially today, or just the sensation of your chair supporting you. Will you find a comfortable place in your seat? Take a few easy breaths as we settle into our shared silence together. We bring the echoes in our hearts before our community and before the holy, in this sacred space and time. If you're online, this is the time to share your joys and sorrows with one another in the chat. If you're in person and you have a milestone you would like added to our prayers, you can fill out the yellow card, which the ushers will collect from you. If there is a joy on your heart, you may place a plant in the vase. If there is a sorrow, place a stone in the bowl. You may light a candle of prayer and presence for someone you're holding close to you. And if you're not sure how you're feeling, maybe you're feeling a little antsy, there are pipe cleaners in the back to fidget with, or you may have brought needlework you can feel free to do. In church, we practice becoming more fully human. This is our time to take stock of how we arrive here, to take what we need, knowing that the table is set for us all. we bring the echoes in our hearts before our community and before the holy in this sacred time. I'm going to read now the joys and sorrows that were brought up. Will you join me in prayer and presence? We name aloud or in the chat those people on our hearts, living or dead, near or far, that this community might hold them in love. Held by silence and song, we offer our joys and sorrows alike, knowing that they are woven fine. I have one sorrow from Dory Block. Please send healing love to my son-in-law, Justin, who suffered a seizure on Thursday, and my daughter, who is very traumatized and is caring for him. Your sorrow is felt by all of us. Dory, please give our sympathy and compassion to your son-in-law and to your daughter. This is a joy shared to us by Rebecca Kay. Our own rock star, Katie Clodd, has her first drum recital today, this afternoon. It starts at 12:30 at Odin Brewing, which is at 802 Westgate City here in Greensboro. Rock on, Katie. Martin, Valerie, Colette, and Caroline want to share that they had a fun-filled week with family and friends at Oak Island. We share your joy and hope that you are still feeling the benefits of that little vacation. There's nothing like the beach. This is from Betsy Lindsay, but it's also from me and probably a number of others who were surprised this morning to see somebody we haven't seen in a while. We're celebrating the return to our midst of Ken Knight, who's been absent for a long time. And also, it's his birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ken. Happy birthday to you. Welcome home. Okay.
Spirit of life and love, God of many names and beyond all naming, source of all, we pray this morning in the words of Alana Fairchild. Let us be the sunrise that greets the new day, and the sunset that honors the dying of the day in radiant glory. Let us be the angel of light arising from darkness, and the starburst in the awakening heart of a human. Be the moon at the back of my heart and the sun at the front of my heart. Be wordless and wise. Let us have nothing that we know for certain, and yet be content. Let us be all and let us be nothing. Let us be. We ask these things for ourselves, for those we love, and for those we do not yet love. Amen. I will carry you through these changes. I will carry you through these changes. I will carry you through these changes.
Now we invite our children and youth to the RE Wing for snack and fellowship. Go in peace, go in love, go in joy. I am a combination, a worrier and problem solver. Not always such a good combo for dealing with things that can't be changed or that are changing and can't be stopped. I go round and round, contemplating, for instance, the physical and cognitive decline I might experience now that I'm in my late 70s. I notice all the current signs like forgetfulness and flagging concentration, problems driving in the dark, or doing certain household tasks, swollen knees, aching back, a new diagnosis added to the list of the old ones. I thought, maybe I can get a jump on this. I joined the Y, I hired a trainer, I ate more leafy greens, I iced my knees every night, did my relaxation exercises. But the words of my auto mechanic, yes, my auto mechanic, kept ringing in my ears. I asked him one day if he thought my 1999 Honda Accord, with only 138,000 miles on it, would be able to get another 100,000. His answer seemed so prophetic, I wrote it down as soon as I got back in my car, as close to word for word as I could. Well, Linda, he said, even though Hondas are predicted to last hundreds of thousands of miles, and even though yours is well maintained, I know I maintain it, at some point, age matters. Your car will get to be so many years old that it will just start to fail beyond fixing, just like us. What? I felt like I had just been hit with the Zen stick of awareness. Who knew my auto mechanic was a Zen master? So, of course, being me, I worried. Not that my car would fall apart beyond fixing, but me. A big component of this worry goes like this. I am here in North Carolina, but my only child lives in upstate New York. She is my legal representative for health and finances, and she is ultimately the one who loves me the most and is committed to my care. But she has a job, a kid, and a husband, and she can't get here instantly. It takes at least 2 planes, and sometimes all day, to get from there to here. How will she be able to help me if something unpredictable will happen? And of course, something unpredictable will happen. Then I try to make a detailed plan to ward off the various catastrophes my mind has concocted. The main plan is to move to Syracuse to be closer to them. This is an idea that's been in discussion for years, when my daughter and her husband got full-time college teaching jobs right out of graduate school. That was great news, except that these jobs were in upstate New York, and they were taking my only grandchild with them. I wanted to pack up and follow them right then and there, but I still had to work a few more years, and they had to get tenure before that plan could be realized. We settled into a pretty nice pattern of visits, with them spending a couple of weeks in the summer and over Christmas, and me flying up there 3 or 4 times a year. Then I retired, and I got more involved in church and started to enjoy more time with friends, and life became a comfortable routine. Uh-oh. You see what's coming, don't you? The phrase, a comfortable routine, is a dead giveaway in a story entitled Uncertainty, Impermanence, and Change. This past Christmas, the thing I wished for all these years became a reality. They got tenure. What an amazing Christmas present for all of us. They now knew they would continue to be employed, and I knew I could finally move to Syracuse next June. However, change, even when positive, can bring its own loss and chaos, the two things I keep trying to avoid. Drifting over all my earlier dreams of how great it was going to be to live near them again were dark clouds of worry. My mind generated a variety of questions that started with these words: what will happen if? I was trying to answer those questions by creating detailed plans that would guarantee none of these what ifs would come to pass, or at least not wreck our world. I was like the stream. I was stuck in the desert of my catastrophic expectations. My daughter answered,
Mom, we can't plan for every contingency. Stuff will happen that we can't anticipate. When it does, we'll figure something out.
figure something out? Like on the fly? If we have no plan, it will be like the craziness we had with your grandparents. They had no plan, and then the big unexpected happened. It was a very painful transition for them and for us. They were forced to move to North Carolina in a matter of 2 months.
That's all true, but they got here. They settled in. You and your North Carolina siblings were able to assist them until the end of their lives, and all without any plan. We have a loose plan. It doesn't and never will cover any and all things that could happen. Aiming for that just adds to your fear and anxiety.
My daughter was like the wind, a calm, reassuring voice, encouraging me to let myself change, to let my life change, to trust that I could resettle myself in a new place. Let me just say, I completely agree with everything she said, and I know she loves me and has my best interest at heart. But just like the stream, I'm not totally convinced. I still wish I could have a more detailed plan. Control, certainty, and permanence. I used to put my faith in them, but age has been a wrecking ball to those triplets. Is there anything I can put my faith in as I head to the unknowable unknown? At this point in my life, I've become a pretty consistent agnostic, not just about religious matters, but about everything else. These days, my answers to most questions that can't be answered on Google is, I don't know. This is more profoundly true as I get older. I know less and less as I age. And this not knowing is separate from whatever cognitive decline I might be experiencing. This is an existential not knowing. Certainty and permanence, as much as I crave them, seem to have dissipated into a mere mist of foiled expectations. My 77 years of daily living make it clear, to me anyway, that there is neither certainty nor permanence, and I am definitely not in control of a fair number of things. We would have a whole different kind of political thing going on now if I did. How do we live with and through things that are changing, that we can't prevent, or things we wish we could change but cannot? For me, it involves, as should be obvious by now, planning that ranges from the useful, moderate amount to the more not so useful, obsessive amount. There is also my therapeutic attention to the not so useful emotional habits I have, like my obsession with planning, for instance. I also have some spiritual practices, which I will focus on today, since we find ourselves here at church. My spiritual toolbox still contains elements, though much transformed, from my Catholic upbringing, which includes prayer, but to a God I'm not sure exists. This God is yet another tool in my toolbox, one, however, that brings no certainty or rescue, just an ear to hear my cry in the darkness, and a sacred heart that holds my suffering. These are echoes of my childhood faith, an Old Testament psalm and a 17th century icon, which I choose to reclaim in a non-literal, open, symbolic way, a way that is useful for me to frame what is essentially ineffable. Perhaps I can say that for me, this is the faith of the faithless, a pause where I can at least ponder the possibility of a seeming miraculous surprise. Like the stream, as she takes in the suggestions of the wind and pauses her own arguments to ponder. Meditation and Buddhist teachings are also in my toolbook. My teacher, Pema Chodron, has had an enormous influence on me, encouraging me to avoid seeking solid certainty, or as she would phrase it, to practice groundlessness, to refrain from constantly seeking ground beneath my feet. Much like the wind's conversation with the stream, Pema suggests we not get stuck in any fixed way of seeing things, to let go of the storyline we keep repeating to ourselves, to be with what is here in this moment. These are a few of her pith instructions that speak to me most poignantly. To be able to let go, or as she prefers to say it, to cease grasping or clinging when all my planning has exhausted itself. To resist labeling things as good or bad, fortunate or unfortunate, but to instead be like the farmer in the Taoist story you may have heard before, just last Sunday, in fact. It goes like this, that the farmer loses his horse, the horse runs off. When the horse comes, and all the town says it's terrible and sad, and the horse comes back and brings back a bunch of other horses, and they all think it's wonderful, and then the son is trying to train one of those wild horses and falls and breaks his leg, and they think that's terrible, and then the army comes and tries to recruit everybody, and they don't recruit the son because he has a broken leg, and everybody thinks that's terrible, and the farmer just keeps saying, maybe. And lastly, to know that suffering is a part of life, as is joy, that they both will come and go again and again. And all of it creates wisdom and compassion. In other words, the very things we are tempted to label misfortune could be a gift of spiritual deepening, expanding our ability to be present to the joys and sufferings of others by listening with an open heart, a sacred heart. And then there is this UU faith of ours, very much like this congregation, and very much this congregation, which for me is unlike any other, the one I call home. I don't call myself Catholic or Buddhist, though these two traditions have a strong and continuing influence on me. What is it about this tradition and this particular congregation that lifts me up when I am down, that gives me space when my own fears crowd my own inner calm? Well, here's an obvious one. We are non-creedal, yet multi-creedal. That means I can come here and use all the spiritual gifts I have gained along my way here, without judgment or silencing. I can get up in this very pulpit and use Catholic symbols to describe my spiritual experience, or quote a Buddhist teacher as I try to share what little wisdom I might have. While some of you may not find these references useful, no one's booing, at least not out loud. But more than anything else, it is this loving community that exists here, and it is the cornerstone of UU faith. This is my chalice candle in the dark, my ear of deep listening, and the sacred heart of suffering where I can be open with all my fears and tears. Outside of my family, I have not known a community like this anywhere else. Individual friends surely have been there for me, and they are very, very important to my life. Community, however, is a different sort of thing. Even in the Buddhist tradition, which seems like such a solitary path. The Sangha is defined as important, even necessary. What are the lessons I take from this? That our tendency to want to prevent these unchangeable changes, especially ones we have labeled bad or unfortunate, is pretty much a fruitless endeavor, and maybe even counterproductive. The stream could not prevent an impossible obstacle, the desert. If she had kept sticking to her storyline of somehow being able to get around it, or under it, or defeated by it, she would not have been able to accept the words of the wind. She would have died in the desert of fixed ideas. Another lesson, that there are spiritual practices that can shed some light onto how we can live through changes that are unavoidable or unpredictable. My spiritual practices have given me the space to pause and ponder, like the stream, so that even an old agnostic like me can find faith in the midst of doubt. And finally, that we can build and maintain a spiritual home where our tears and fears are seen and felt by others, that we are not alone if we choose to be in communion with others. We can be the open ears, the sacred heart, and the wings beneath someone else's feet if we remain open to ourselves as well as to each other, if we do our best to honor our own joys and sorrows, which in turn will give us the capacity to honor the joys and sorrows of others. When the stream allowed herself to be transformed by the wind into something entirely unexpected, when she surrendered the ground beneath her feet, she found herself in the company of the droplets from many other streams and rivers, creating a beautiful rainbow as they flowed together back to the ocean from whence they all came. Our loving community is not sent down to us from heaven. It is created by us and for us. It is a living thing that needs to be birthed, fed, and tended like all living things. It may even, at some point, need to be rebirthed, as this congregation has done at least once since I've been here. If we continue expanding our compassion, this place we call home will keep being a profound gift, a holy one that we give to each other and receive from each other. Of all the tools in our toolbox, this one might just be the very best. It certainly is for me. I am and will forever be grateful to all those in the UUCG community, both living and dead, who for these past 22 years have rocked me in the arms of this loving community and who helped me make of this place a home when I was spiritually homeless. Now I'm facing the loss of this spiritual home that I have known for a third of my life as I let the winds of change carry me to a new place. It seems like an impossible task, as I have come up against a desert of contradictory desires to stay exactly where I am and exactly the way I am, or reach the ocean where I yearn to be. Though my ears be filled with mud, I still hear the voice of the wind, of my teacher, my daughter, and some of you who have recently made this transition from some other place to here. And this is the message. Faith and doubt can coexist. You can change, but you won't disappear. You can start over. Loving communities are where we build them. My prayer is that we all can find a way to have faith even in the midst of doubt, especially as the winds of change blow us about, and they do, and they will. May we both find and create loving community wherever we seek it. And as we reach the threshold, may we hear a choir of voices sing, "Enter, rejoice, and come in, and know that we are home." May it be so for me, and for you, and for all of us. Amen. You may remain seated and join in on the chorus of the song Rainbow Connection. which, with Kermit's enthusiastic support, Will Batchelor is going to sing for us. You will find the words in your order of service.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows, and what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So it's been said, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? It's something we'll see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I heard them calling my name. Are these the sweet sounds that's heard by young sailors? They might be the one and the same. I've heard them too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da do, la da 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 dee da do.
Whew. Can we get another round of appreciation for Will and Linda? It was so good. One of the ministries of this church is our Minister's Discretionary Fund, which is available to anyone in a tough spot. We can help with medical bills, rent, groceries, and other needs. Reverend Sadie's email and phone number are on the back of your order of service, or you can contact the church through our website. Our offering this month is split with the Triad Health Project. They are an organization focused on ending the stigma of HIV, encouraging testing and safer sex practices, and advocating for the worth, dignity, well-being, and resources for people living with HIV in our community. If you'd like to make a contribution, you can do so at the link in the description of this video. You can text GIVE to the number in your order of service. You can also mail a check or put something generous in the baskets, which will be passed by our ushers. Our ushers are coming forward to collect the offering, which will now be gratefully received. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and by this we live.
You find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, they still live and they may see, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, now let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there's still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, now let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Will you join me in our chalice extinguishing words? We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
All right. Announcements. If you're online and you'd like to get more connected, you can click the link in the description of this YouTube video and let us know how we can connect with you. If you're in person, you can fill out the online form at the visitors table or later at your convenience. Stick around after worship for our post-service reflection about how today's service spoke to you. Just grab a refreshment and join us back here in the sanctuary. There will be no Exploring membership session today, nor the rest of July. It will start up again in August. The Caring Ministry team would like to call your attention to a program entitled Right Care for the Right Time. It will cover the topics of hospice services, end-of-life care, and advanced directives. There's more in your announcement page in your order of service tells you about a little more information and how to register. You do have to register for it. It's at the library. There will be an all-church potluck on Sunday, July 28th after worship, and there will be a seniors connecting gathering on June 30th. Again, consult that announcement page to get the details on both of these events. For our benediction, I offer the words of Maureen Killoran. These words are read at the end of every monthly meeting of UUCG's Caring Ministry. It seems a fitting prayer of commitment as we go out into the sacred world. No matter how weak or how frightened we may feel, we each have gifts that can make a difference in the world. In this coming week, may you do at least one thing to support the broken, to welcome the stranger, to celebrate what is worthy, to do the work of justice and love. Be strong. Be connected. Each day act so you may be a little more whole. Go in peace, go in faith, go in love. Amen. 1058 in your teal hymnal, Be Ours a Religion.
Canadian Irish, but she's up Good to see you, Rebecca. I'm Bill. I don't know but anyway. And I can't see. Well, listen, she that to me is the huge church. The other maybe you could illuminate I had a very good coach with that. very good. Anyway, that's great. But I have a concept of faith. I mean, I know especially with regard that's exactly what I am. Thank you. That's where I am. Trust, that's exactly it. But I just think the use of the word faith. Well, I know, but you know, the implications of faith are so important.